Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to have to turn this over to Jenny and go out and come back. So, Jenny, it's on you for the time being.
Okay, Dr. Johnson, thank you. Welcome, everyone. Glad you're able to join us today for the President's Town Hall. We have a lot of information and updates to share with you today, including information on the combined campaign and Autumn Blaze, the campus president search, enrollment and iPads updates, and COVID-19. Following these presentations, we will take questions from all of you. So if you have a question, please submit it to virtualtownhall@tri-c.edu. If it's for a specific person or area of the college, please let us know that so we can get your question to the right person. So leading off today with our first presentation is Chief of Staff Ronna McNair, who's going to give us some information about the combined campaign and Autumn Blaze. Ronna? We can't hear you, Ronna. Are you on mute?
Thanks, Jenny.
You're welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is that time again for the 2022 combined campaign, and we are starting today, September 21st, 2021. The campaign goes through November 30th, 2021, and once again, we are working hard to raise money for our community partners, Community Shares, UNCF, and United Way of Greater Cleveland. Once again, we have been partners with these organizations for a long time, and the community needs our help more now than ever before. The committee co-chairs this year are the following individuals: Cindy Leetson, myself, Angela Johnson, Robert Johnson, and Jody Wheaton. And to complement the co-chairs, we have the site coordinators. The way the campaign is set up is each site has a coordinator that runs that particular campaign. Since COVID-19 started last year, we didn't branch out to our campus campaign, our campus committees as in the past. So this year we will be functioning as a committee of the whole. So these are the individuals that will be providing the activities going forward. Each year we try to create some excitement around the campaign with various activities and events. So the first fundraiser this year will be with Panda Express. And the nice thing about Panda Express is they will give us 28% of any total spent that particular day at the restaurant. So mark your calendars for September 30th, November 1st, and December 1st. The nice thing about the Panda Express event is that individuals can purchase meals from Panda Express across the country. So be sure to tell your friends and families who are outside of the Cleveland area to help participate in the event to benefit the college. We are thrilled once again to host the 7th annual Autumn Blaze. It will be virtual again this year due to COVID, and you will have a full week to participate. We had a great time last year with almost 200 participants. And as many of you know, this event was started by Jerry Horrigan 7 years ago. And Chris Faciana and his team are excited about keeping it going. So please come out and walk with your friends, and notice that the last evening for the activity is October 31st, which is Halloween. The online auction is back, and Jody Wheaton has graciously agreed to lead the auction again this year. This is another fundraiser that has grown each year to include so many great items. You will be hearing more about the auction in the coming weeks, and think about what items you can donate between now and October 25th. And last but not least, how to give. In addition to the different events and activities that you'll see over the next several weeks, please keep in mind the opportunity for payroll deduction contributed directly to our partner agencies. Please check out the Combined Campaign website for additional information and be on the lookout for Combined Campaign emails, which will keep you updated on all the Combined Campaign fun. That's all I have, Jenny. Back to you. Thank you.
Thanks, Ronna. Appreciate the update. Such a good cause. Looking forward to getting that started again this year. So now I'm going to go back to Dr. Johnson so he can do his welcome and opening remarks with everyone.
Well, thank you very much, Jenny. I want to welcome everyone and apologize for the technical snafu. There's a lot going on at the institution, as you can imagine, and they're going to be highlighted, quite honestly, more extensively during our presentations this afternoon. But I want to just share with you a couple of highlights that really reflect positively on the institution and all the work that you are engaged in, even during these challenging times in association with COVID-19. First of all, the college was acknowledged by an organization for as a recipient of the Great College to Work For, a Great College to Work For. There were 76 institutions that were selected for this honor, and there were 12 community colleges. Tri-C was the only college that excelled in all 10 categories. So its distinction is that it is an honor roll college, and there's only one other institution that shares that remarkable achievement, and that's Lone Star Community College just north of Houston. The 10 categories include job satisfaction and support, compensation and benefit, professional development, mission and pride, supervisor department chair effectiveness, confidence and senior leadership, faculty and staff well-being, shared governance, faculty experience, diversity, inclusion, and belonging. That recognition would not have been made possible without your strident and advocacy and stalwart commitment to the institution during this time, and I want to thank you for that. Another recognition that we received, and we've received this in the 15th year in a row, is the North Coast 99 Award. And it really speaks to the institution's focus on employment engagement and talent development. And I want to thank you for ensuring that we receive that recognition again. Many of you will hear more about the transformation plan in coming months, but part of it is reshaping the student experience. Many of you have heard of the impact that COVID-19 has had on the student journey, and it has essentially transformed it significantly. In some instances, individuals had to put their educational dreams and aspirations on hold. So in order to bring them back, particularly from CMSD and our inner ring suburbs districts, we instituted Level Up as a way to do that. And we've seen some significant benefits in that regard in terms of recovering students who, as I indicated, had to put their educational aspirations on hold. The Jobs First effort is designed to combine the educational experience with the job experience. We're working diligently, and we have found that to be beneficial to ensure that students have additional income as they engage in their college experience. And the last piece I will talk about is the college comeback. And what we've done with that is use some of our reserves to pay the debt of some of our students, I believe up to 1,000 students. And Dave, if I'm wrong, please correct me on that. $1,000, not 1,000 students. But Dave, you and Karen can share more information about that and correct me if I'm wrong. With respect to the fall semester, we do not anticipate any mitigation plans with respect to COVID-19. We want to stay the course and remain full force in terms of our offering of on-campus programs and services for students. But I would encourage you, and we don't have a plan, quite honestly, to mandate vaccines, but I will share with you that it continues to be important for you to exercise all the safety protocols that you have been directed to do, including wearing a mask, making sure that we maintain social distance, including 3 feet in the classroom, 6 feet outside, and all the other precautionary measures that we know will lead to a a safer and more secure campus. We encourage you to take the vaccine. And in fact, we're making vaccine clinics available to those of you who would like to get a vaccine. They are September 28th at the Eastern Campus from 10 a.m. to noon, and at the Metropolitan Campus on the same day in the afternoon from 2 to 4. Once again, on September 28th, the Eastern Campus from 10 a.m. to noon, and at the Metropolitan Campus on the same day from 2 to 4 p.m. On September 29th, the clinic will be held at the Western Campus from 10 a.m. to noon, and then we will establish dates for the West Shore Campus and let you know. Upon receiving your second shot, you will receive a special edition I Got the Shot t-shirt, similar to what, not similar, that's the same as what I'm wearing and what you see among my colleagues on the screen. Now, if you're already vaccinated and weren't able to get a t-shirt at one of the distribution events, you can get one if you email a photo of your Tri-C ID and proof of vaccination to MNC, that's Amfernan, MNC, at tri-c.edu. So that's C, I'm sorry, I'm tongue-tied, at tri-c.edu. So with that, let me turn it back over to Jenny. Jenny, I stole a little bit more time than I had anticipated, but I know we'll have ample opportunity for our colleagues to make their presentations today. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson. And next up is our Provost and Executive Vice President, Access, Learning, and Success, Dr. Karen Miller, with an update on the search for the Eastern and West Shore campus presidents. Dr. Miller?
Thanks, Jenny. Hi, everybody. Hope you're having a good afternoon, and great to be with you on the town hall today to give you an update on many important topics, one of which is our search for a new president at the Eastern Campus and the West Shore Campus. We have been working very hard behind the scenes with committees from both campuses to get to the point that we are today. I can't thank all of the members of the search teams enough for their work at the level 1 interview process. But we are excited today that we have candidates that will be moving forward to what we consider to be the second level. And those interviews will be actually on site at our campuses, both East and at West Shore, starting next week. And so we're excited to be hosting these next level interviews where we will be inviting groups of people at the campuses, both East and at West Shore, to meet with the candidate, to get to know them a little bit, to ask them questions, obviously, and then to provide feedback to us. And so you're going to be getting some information very soon about those interviews. At East, it will take place next Tuesday, September 28th. We will have 2 candidates coming through that interview process. They will be meeting with the campus leadership team. They will be meeting with faculty leaders. They will be meeting with the ALNS district-wide team, obviously Dr. Johnson, and our board chair, Trustee Helen Forbes Fields. And we will also then be having a town hall in the afternoon of the days that we will be on site. So Tuesday afternoon, there will be a town hall event, one to take place, a short break, and then another to take place with each of the candidates, and the entire campus community will be invited either in person. If you're comfortable, we'll have a socially distant environment. or we'll be broadcasting those live with the opportunity for you to ask questions either in person or through an opportunity just like this. And so we're excited to be hosting candidates at the Eastern Campus next Tuesday, September 28th. On Thursday, September 30th, we will be doing the same at the West Shore campus. And so look for information that will be coming out very soon. If you are in one of those constituent groups that will be meeting with the candidates, you should be receiving Outlook invitations soon from our Human Resource Department. And then again, we will be hosting campus-wide town halls in the afternoon, back to back with a little break in between. And everybody is welcome to participate in those town halls, either in person or watching virtually. We will have then most likely a second day at the West Shore campus, which will take place the following week on Wednesday, October 6th. A very similar format. We have one additional candidate that we will be hosting all those individual meetings again, as well as a town hall in the afternoon. And we would love to hear from as many of you as possible. Again, everybody that takes part in the interview process, whether in an individual interview or through the town hall format, will have an opportunity to provide us feedback, both on paper and electronically. And we're very excited to be at this second level stage and bringing in candidates for you all to meet. So please mark your calendars, and if you have the ability to join us, we'd love to see you there. Again, can't stress enough, get your shot, get your shirt, we all have them, and we're excited to see you on campuses as we get out and about. That's it, Jenny.
Thank you, Dr. Miller. Great to hear about the progress that's being made on the president's search. I'm sure everyone's looking forward to those town halls. Next up is Angela Johnson, Vice President, Access and Completion, to tell us how we're doing with enrollment and iPads. Angela?
Thank you, Jenny. Good afternoon, everyone. Excited to tell you a little bit about some of the work and efforts that's been happening here as our fall semester starts. So welcome back to the fall semester. So a quick update around enrollment. I just want you to take a look at our enrollment from a headcount perspective and our FTE. This is as of the 15th day. I know you got an enrollment bulletin this morning that might look slightly different. So I want to make sure that we're thinking about this from the 15th day and just want to highlight some of the areas in terms of some of the growth that we've seen and some of the aspects of delayed from high school. As Dr. Johnson mentioned, we had a really broad campaign, our Level Up campaign, really trying to focus on and reach back to students who would have graduated either 2019, 2020, and of course 2021. And we had been able to see some of those students to return to us and have increased our delay from high school, not only the headcount for those students, but also some students who are taking the opportunity to attend full-time to accelerate their time to degree completion. You also see from our transfer students, we're up 4% from transfer students from a headcount perspective. So more students are transferring to us over compared to last year. And then our returning students, we spent a lot of effort really helping our stop out students think about opportunities we have to help them restart their education, reset their opportunity, and certainly to get into a career field that might be different than where they started before, but really getting those students to come back. So we're up there about 13%. And then 7.7% or about 8% from a headcount perspective. As I mentioned, this is from the 15th day. So you saw a little bit different numbers come out this morning. So our total number of students right now is 18,161 and growing, because we are still doing lots of efforts to really continue to grow enrollment as our second 8 weeks starts here about mid-late October. So lots of efforts still happening around that. And so I want to move on now to give you a quick update on our iPads. Our iPads, which is our full-time, first-time graduates. So these are students who would have started in the fall of 18 and would have attended and completed by summer of 21. So if you look at 2017, you see we were at 23.6% last year. We're at 24.13%, and counting. In fact, this morning we're already at 24.2. So we do still have a little bit of time. We do still have a few students that we're working with, and we hope to see that number continue, the percentage continue to increase. So we're excited about the continued growth in our full-time, first-time students who complete with us within 3 years. And the next slide is just to really highlight some of the areas and aspects I know that we've been working on and focused on. All of you at the campuses on your iPads team have really helped us with looking at and continuing to support our students of color. And so we also see an increase there over last year from 11.1% to 13.3%. So excited about our continued efforts and continue to really help students, our underserved populations of students, continue to complete their programs more timely. So that's certainly been a great effort. So before I wrap up my very brief update, I do want to just highlight a couple of the items. You heard Dr. Johnson talk about our Level Up campaign and our student debt forgiveness program. So our Level Up campaign was a broad focus on students that we know we could better assist in terms of returning, recruiting, and retaining broader populations of students from the Cleveland Metropolitan School District and our inner ring suburbs. And so far in our campaign, which does go for this whole year, but so far for the fall semester, we have 902 students that we have re-enrolled or new recruits or students who stopped out and came back. So we're really excited about the efforts that are going associated with that. Just to be very specific, from a new student perspective, that's 349 students in that campaign. Students who stopped out that we focused on returning, that's 152 students. And then for students who are continuing, that's just over about 400 students. And so we're really excited about our efforts with the Level Up campaign. The efforts continue. You'll hear more. It certainly is a part of our transformation plan, so you'll hear more about that. And then the last thing I want to end with is just giving you an update around these 2 new engagements around student debt forgiveness. They're 2 distinct programs, but certainly really helping students to return. So as Dr. Johnson mentioned, we had some dollars associated with our COVID relief funds, so our HERF funds that we're able to allocate because the provisions allow us to do that, to allow to allocate dollars for students past debt. We were able to help over 3,000 students, almost 3,100 students, to pay off all or a portion of their past due debt. So it was up to $1,000 per student, depending on how much debt they had, up to $1,000. And we're really excited to share that 431 of those students returned. So that's 14%. So really excited to see that effort associated with, again, knowing students had some impacts through the COVID-19 pandemic, some financial impacts, able to help those students return after resolving past due balances that they had with the college, but really helping them to continue their education. And then the second phase of that is the comeback, the Tri-State College Comeback Campaign, which is sort of different. The students who were that I mentioned before, the 3,000 students, those were students specific to the time period of the pandemic. The Tri-State Comeback Program precedes that. So students prior to the pandemic, helping those students who come back who may have had a past due balance, but helping them to return. We can help them up to $1,000 to resolve that debt and finish their education. So we're excited that there's a good number of students who continue to take us up on that. We think we're going to see more students in our Session B start. So another opportunity to continue to increase our enrollment and certainly helping students who want to come back and finish their education. That is it for me today, Jenny. Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Angela. That's really great news. Wonderful to hear about all those students we're able to bring back with these different programs. I did want to ask you though, so with the iPads where you mentioned 24.2%, so rounding up, what are you thinking there? 26, 27? I'm channeling someone else here.
Yeah, I know you are, and I feel it. So here's the thing. What I know is we're working with about 5 to 6 students, we need at least 4 more students to bump up to the next percentage. And we are working on that. We're working with our partners. We have a couple of reverse transfer students that we're working with from Cleveland State University. So I am excited to share another update with you all soon.
I know
So,
you will. I know
and
you're doing a great job, Angela. Thank you so much.
so Angela, I'm not the only one who pushes the graduation rate with fuzzy math. So
Thanks again, Angela. And now, rounding out today's presentations are Claire Rosacco, Vice President Government Relations, and Renee Richard, Vice President Legal Services, who will provide updates on COVID-19. Claire will lead off with a high-level overview, followed by Renee with the Tri-C COVID report. Claire?
Great. Thank you, Jenny. Hope everybody's doing well. Last week, you may have heard that Cuyahoga County Executive Armin Budish and the Cuyahoga County Board of Health issued a mask advisory effective last Thursday, September 16th, urging all county residents to wear a mask in public indoor settings, regardless of vaccination status. The mask advisory is due to increased caseloads of COVID-19 in the county and in the state, primarily due to the Delta variant. They, of course, also recommended getting vaccinated as the best way to beat COVID-19. Area hospitals are seeing increased numbers of COVID-19 patients and are also encouraging vaccinations and masks as well. This afternoon, Governor DeWine and Dr. Vanderhoff, the director of the Ohio Department of Health, announced that they are seeing an increased number of cases of those in their 20s up through their 40s. These are primarily cases where people are not vaccinated. Of those 39 and younger, only 35% of those are vaccinated. And they encouraged all to get vaccinated. It could really save your life. So really take that to heart. Food and Drug Administration FDA panel voted Friday against approving booster shots for people 16 and older who received the Pfizer vaccine at this time. They did recommend a booster shot, however, for those 65 and older or at high risk for COVID-19. The FDA and the CDC are expected to make a final decision on booster shots later this week. Some good news, the Pfizer vaccine has been shown to be safe and highly effective in young children ages 5 to 11 years old. The Pfizer company will be applying to the FDA for approval of their vaccine for children by the end of this month. If the regulatory review goes smoothly, that could mean that millions of elementary school-age children could start receiving the vaccine by Halloween. They are undergoing trials for children under 5 years old, and they're hoping to have the results of those trials later this year, according to Pfizer. President Biden, as you know, recently announced a vaccine mandate that affects federal employees, contractors, as well as private employers with 100 or more employees. And it's still unclear how that mandate will affect public colleges and universities, but they expect to issue additional guidance on the mandate around September 24th or so. So we don't quite know yet how we'll be impacted by the mandate at this time. And case numbers, Sunday, there were 4,428 new cases of the virus in Ohio. Yesterday, 4,899 new cases of the virus. And we had 365 new cases of the virus in Cuyahoga County on Sunday. Today, there were 6,814 new cases reported. But I also want you to know Cuyahoga County is one of the 10 lowest case count per 100,000 counties in the state of Ohio, out of 88 counties. And we are the second largest county right behind Franklin County with a population of 1.2 million. So please stay safe and healthy. And if you're not vaccinated, please consider getting your vaccination. It's really important. And I'd like to now turn it over to Renee Richard for further information. Thank you.
Thank you, Claire, and good afternoon, everyone. As we welcome more people back to campus, we know there are some who have concerns about the increasing number of COVID cases. We want to assure you that the college is taking the safety of our community very seriously. The most significant measure we can all take is to get vaccinated. According to the CDC, getting vaccinated will protect you from severe illness, from death, and will minimize the spread of the virus, and importantly, will not give you COVID-19. We know the manner in which institutions are handling the return to campus varies. However, all institutions are requiring masks be worn while in classrooms, common areas, and open cubicles with face-to-face pathways. With respect to physical distancing, in accordance with guidance from the U.S. Department of Education, each institution is able to decide what works best for their individual spatial and enrollment needs. The college has determined that observing 3 feet of physical distancing in the classroom where possible and 6 feet of physical distancing everywhere else on site will be our policy for this semester. This is in line with CDC recommendations for K through 12 schools and is comparable to other institutions of higher education. We are also continuing to work with Caroline's Health Center to assist our faculty, staff, and students in getting vaccinated and tested if necessary. We will continue to use 25% of the capacity of meeting rooms as a guide. Please note the nature of the activity or planned use of the room may require greater social distancing. We are asking everyone to avoid very large crowds and poorly ventilated spaces. Moving on to our COVID dashboard slide. As of September 12th, since the beginning of the fall semester, 34 individuals have been exposed to COVID-19 while on campus. 31 have reported that they tested positive for COVID-19 while both on campus and during the period of time they may have been contagious. Of this number, 27 are students and 4 are faculty or staff. There are currently 39 individuals that are isolating themselves from either campus or a clinical site. Please note these exposures and positive cases represent less than 0.3% of our campus enrollment. This COVID dashboard and other coronavirus-related information can be found on our website at tri-c.edu/coronavirus. Jenny, this concludes my report for today.
Thank you, Claire and Renee. I know both of you spend a tremendous amount of time reading everything that's out there and then distilling it all down into key points and highlights for us. And it's really valuable and very helpful. So thank you so much for all of your work to do that for all of us. And thanks also to all of our presenters today. We'll use the remaining time to answer your questions. In addition to our presenters for this segment, we are joined by William Gary and Alicia Booker at WeSaid, Dave Kuntz, Finance and Administration, Lillian Welch, Human Resources, Dr. Lindsay English, Access Learning and Success, and Standish Stewart, Information Technology Services. So once again, if you have a question, please send it to virtualtownhall@tri-c.edu. We may not get to all of your questions on the program today, but we'll post answers to all the questions we receive on the Tri-C website coronavirus page as part of the FAQ section and on the K-Web along with a recording of the town hall. You can also find links on the homepage of My Tri-C Space. Our first question today is for Renee Richard. Now that there is a COVID vaccine that is FDA approved and considering President Biden's vaccine mandate, many institutions around Ohio are considering COVID-19 vaccinations for students, faculty, and staff. Will Tri-C be among those requiring vaccinations? If not, please explain the reason for this decision.
Thank you, Jenny. As Claire mentioned earlier, we are awaiting receipt of the final language for President Biden's vaccine mandate. At this time, it's not clear the college is covered by the mandate. Also, we are continuing to monitor those institutions of higher education that are mandating vaccines. In Ohio, only 4-year institutions that have residential campuses are currently mandating vaccines. And even for those residential universities, not all are requiring vaccinations. Cleveland State is an example of this. Currently, there are no community colleges in Ohio mandating vaccines. For these reasons, we will continue to monitor the trends for mandates, but we will not require vaccinations at this time. Thank you, Jenny.
Thank you, Renee. Next question is for Standish Stewart. Standish, I see that a new My Tri-C Space experience is coming soon. Why are we changing the platform and who was involved in the project?
Thank you for the question. Our college portal, My Tri-C Space, is provided by the same vendor, Ellucian, that develops and supports Banner, which is our college ERP. Ellucian has decided to retire the current portal delivery platform, which is called Luminous, and it's moving clients to a new cloud-based platform called Ellucian Experience. With this transition, the look and feel of My Tri-C Space will evolve to a more personalized, card-based web layout. And in order to look at all of the current content and make this migration, ITS pulled together cross-functional teams of colleagues from across the institution, including faculty, faculty development, counseling, deans, OLAT, the enrollment centers, financial aid, the bursar's office, the registrar's office, human resources, budget and finance, payroll, integrated communications, the adjunct office. We said we tried to include representation from all of our areas, and there are others beyond that list. Pulled all of these colleagues together to review the content and really use this as an opportunity to provide the cleanest and most functional experience possible. All of the tools and information available today in My Tri-C Space will still be available in the new platform, albeit in a cleaner and more mobile-friendly layout. So we're excited. We're really excited to embark on this journey with all of you when the new and improved My Tri-C Space launches on October 14th. And as we settle into the new platform, we look forward to receiving constructive feedback that can help us to continuously improve the environment. Thank you, Jenny.
Thanks, Standish. We're all looking forward to seeing that new platform. Can't wait till it launches. Next question is going back to Renee. In the COVID-19 communications, we sometimes read about cases where people experience symptoms early in the week, come to campus later in the week, and then find out they test positive after they leave campus. Are they following guidelines? And if not, what action is being taken?
Yeah, thank you, Jenny. This is a good question. If someone is experiencing symptoms early in the week and then return to campus knowing that they're experiencing symptoms, they are not following the guidelines. And where those individuals do take that course of action, they are being referred to their campus president or their supervisor for discipline. So it's a good opportunity to reiterate, if you're experiencing any of the COVID symptoms that are listed on our website or on the CDC's website, please do not come to campus. You are exposing your colleagues. Thank you.
Thanks, Renee. Next question is for Lillian Welch. Lillian, what is the reason part-time employees were excluded from the opportunity to apply for the remote or flexible work schedule?
Thanks, Jenny. I know this question has come up in previous town halls, but I will answer it again. So part-time positions by their nature are flexible. The days and hours a part-time employee works is not the standard 8:30 to 5, Monday through Friday, that most of our full-time employees work. So part-time positions were designed to provide flexibility to the departments that they work in order to provide coverage during peak times of the day or the week, or to provide support when a full-time employee may be out of the office, even if that's something as just as simple as being out of the office on a lunch or a break. Therefore, that is why part-time employees are not included in the flexible work procedure that was implemented on September 13th. Thank you, Jenny.
Thanks, Lillian. Just getting a few questions in here. They're just coming up right now. So I believe this one is for Angela Johnson. You mentioned 2 student debt relief programs. The second one in particular is for students who might have accumulated debt prior to the start of the pandemic. What is the criteria for stop-out students who want to return to the college? Do they have to return as full-time students?
So the for the Tri-C comeback, the college comeback program, the criteria is we would relieve the debt up to $1,000. Students do have to have a 2.0 grade point average. They have to take courses that are in their academic program, and they can take at least one course. So they do not have to be full-time. And the debt is relieved at the end of the term, assuming the student maintains the criteria throughout. We do have great information on our website about the Tri-C College Comeback Program. Thank you.
Thanks, Angela. We have another question here for Lillian. Is there a time frame in which your sorry, my screen just jumped on me. Is there a time frame in which your supervisor has to approve or deny your FWS, your flexible work schedule, once it has been submitted since the program began effective 9/13?
Thank you, Jenny. That's a good question. So there is no defined timeline. We know that this was effective September 13th. We did not anticipate that that meant that all FWS requests that had been received would be approved. There are many departments who are still working out what will work for their department regarding what times are their core hours, if they can allow remote work, if they can allow compressed work week. It's still peak times at the campuses. So some supervisors had not have had time to devote to that. However, we do encourage you to reach out to your supervisor and have dialogue, and so that you can at least find out where your supervisor is in the review process. Maybe they're still determining the parameters for their department. Maybe they're allowing a certain amount of time so they can see all of the requests that are coming in for that department in totality. But I can tell you that we have had 341 individuals so far have submitted a request. Of those, we have 148 that are awaiting supervisor approval. 81 have been fully completed and approved by all the way through payroll. I'm sorry, 81 are still awaiting payroll approval and 112 have been approved by payroll. So for considering the fact that this is only 1 week into the flexible work schedule, we feel that this is moving along, at a very quick pace, but also, again, it's so important for everyone to remember that, these are long-term decisions that, we're expecting these to be at least for 3 to 6 months. So we want to be sure that the supervisors have a lot of time to make sure that they're doing what's right to ensure that the operations of the department continue in the most effective way as they're approving their requests. Thank you.
Thanks, Lillian. Those are all the questions we've received today. So just a reminder that if you have any additional questions or if you think of anything after the town hall, you can submit those to today@tri-c.edu and we will get an answer for you. Links to this town hall and all previous town halls can be found on the Tri-C coronavirus web pages. That's tri-c.edu/coronavirus, as well as on the home pages of My Tri-C Space and the K-Web. The Q&As can be found within the frequently asked questions on the coronavirus web pages, and a transcript will soon be on the K-Web. I hope you all stay safe, stay healthy, and have a great week. And now I'll turn it back to Dr. Johnson for some closing comments.
Sorry about that once again. Let me just share with you that despite the challenges that we all are facing as a result of COVID-19, the college continues to make significant progress. Just to summarize a few of the points that were made by my colleagues. Number one, Angela Johnson has shared with you that we continue to excel in our graduation rate and our graduation numbers, even though we have some work to do in our enrollment. And that's perhaps because individuals are still fearful of the spread of COVID-19. The second thing I want to share with you is in concert with what you heard from Renee Richard and also from Claire Rosacco, that even though there is continued spread of the variant of COVID-19, the precautionary steps that we've taken inside the institution have in effect limited that to an extent. So we want you to recognize that, but continue to engage in the precautionary measures that have been prescribed both by healthcare agencies and also the college. The other thing I want to share with you is that with respect to our financial footing, it continues to remain strong. But recognize that we did have an enrollment decline that might slow up the extent that we open up different services at the institution. So we want you to continue to be cautious in that regard. And lastly, make sure that you, all of the communications that come out, either through email or on the website, please take advantage of those so that you are knowledgeable and understand more fully where the institution is. I want you to know, as your president, I'm very, very proud of you and humbled not only by your persistence, but your tenacity. And that's a big deal in today's world. So thank you so much for, first of all, your commitment to Tri-C and loving the work that you do. And with that, I look forward to seeing you soon. And Jenny, once again, you have been fantastic in terms of your moderation. And I want to, moderating rather, and also I want to thank our colleagues for the really great presentations that they made this afternoon. Thank you.